Hey everybody,
CorporalNosaj,
and this is Presto, and you're listening to episode 60 of the Nintendads podcast.
For those of you who are at home on your beautiful podcast listening devices, you can't see my face. The newsroom is falling apart. Today's episode, we're going to be going over Pokemon and Mario Strikers and possibly Sonic and Diablo and Marvel and Street Fighter and all sorts of things.
Corporal is really excited about this news episode. There's a lot of news that came out in the last 2 weeks that Corporal is basically like a shaken up bottle of Mountain Dew just waiting to explode. Okay, oh my god.
This episode, for those of you who do know, should have been all about graphics and story and mechanics of gameplay. But no, we lied to you. We lied to you because we're a bunch of liars.
I didn't lie. You lied.
We are liars.
So, we had a very special episode planned. Gameplay versus story versus mechanics. And what's up, Jeremy Grabtacular? Welcome in. We had a great episode planned on a topic that we've been wanting to do for a while.
Great, it was spectacular.
But a lot of news came out in like the last week. It's really been in like the last 36 hours or 48 hours. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get into it, but the news. I love that there's the drink is still on your shirt. If you're listening to this on an audio only platform, this is the one episode that I cannot compel you enough to watch this one on video. You're saying I can't upload my PowerPoint on mechanics being number one? Grabtacular, you absolutely can, because you are correct. You understood the assignment. Mechanics are number one, but I'm going to have to save that argument for another episode.
I can't. My show notes just going all over the place here. It's
anyway.
Trash.
Anyway. And now the news. Before I went old school and did it on 22 floppy disks. Melissa, welcome in. Thanks for liking the stream. Okay, so before we get into the pile of news that has been plopped on our previous episode, Corporal, what are you playing and what? No. Is that right? That's a joke in the show notes.
Those show notes are accurate. What? They are as accurate as the fact that we have lied to our viewers.
Okay, well, what have you been playing besides?
I have been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And let me tell you, it's all because of a stinking little TikTok. This is the angry episode, if you haven't realized. I was scrolling through TikTok one night because I couldn't sleep, and I came across Valhalla is Calling Me, a song by, for the love of me, I'm not going to know it now.
Sandeep, welcome in.
But I came across the song. I'm going to look it up so I can give them the proper shout out because they believe they deserve it.
Mechanic story gameplay. If the game is unplayable, it might as well be a pretty piece of garbage. Like Cyberpunk.
By Miracle of the Sound. Miracle of the Sound produced a song called Valhalla is Calling Me. And it is a absolutely beautiful piece of art. And I listened to it on repeat over and over and over and over again because this is
that's what you do when you find a song you like.
So I started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, There we go. Got the Twitch thing back up. Yeah, I am.
What are you playing it on?
Xbox.
Okay.
Because I have every single Assassin's Creed game that has ever came out on any platform available on my Xbox. All of the mobile games, all of the spin-off things, I have them all. Presto hit his fan.
Wotlings? What does that mean?
Are you?
Is that Canadian slang?
It's a Canadian slang for can't spells.
Okay. I've been playing too many things. I've been playing a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise. A little bit. Only a little bit. I've been playing the new No Man's Sky Expedition update, yes, which is pretty darn cool. It's like a roguelite. Walk off the Earthlings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mark, thank you for liking the stream. Welcome to the episode. Your name now, Mark, is forever in episode 60. Yes, Walk Off the Earth is amazing. I've been listening to them a lot. But yeah, I've been playing No Man's Sky. There's a new roguelite Expedition, which has been super cool. I've also been playing Diablo Immortal, which just came out, which we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about that later.
We're going to talk about it. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. What are you drinking, Corporal? Or what were you drinking? I think you even got some of it in your mouth. That's a pretty can. That can did not deserve that treatment.
It was passion wheat, a passion fruit and mango wheat ale.
See, now that sounds like something I would drink.
It's Jub's Brewing Company.
Jub.
In Sarasota, Florida.
Yes, Lim Joshua, welcome in. I'm drinking this good old Goose Island. Goose Island came out with shandies for this summer. This is a lemonade shandy. Because it's the last one left in the sampler pack. But the strawberry and the grapefruit lemonade shandies, it's like drinking diabetes. It's delicious.
Diabetes.
Jeremy's in 7 hours into No Man's Sky, built my armory station, and now I gotta find an armorer to join my base. I never did much of the base building, actually.
I haven't done any of the base building. It's one of the quest requirements that's up, and I just haven't done it.
I haven't done it. I have like 40 hours into my one game, and I have like the absolute minimum thing to like continue for a base. It's like a base computer and like 3 walls. So yeah, are you playing anything with the little ones?
Jacob and I have been doing Uno. For the life of me, I could not think of Uno. We've been playing digital Uno. Nice.
I've been playing. Oh, excuse me. I'm starting this episode so late. I'm falling asleep. We returned Super Mario 3D World to the library after getting to the very last level and realizing that we needed another 40 stars to do the final level and boss, which I didn't have time. So we are. I heard the new Marvel Uno is very good. That's also on our list of things to talk about. Graptacular. Yeah, we've kind of gone back to Mario 64 and playing through trying to get 120 stars because I did the long jump glitch to go backwards up the stairs and skip a large requirement for the last boss. Not even 9:30 and you're already a pumpkin. Corporal's the one that turns into the pumpkin usually.
I know, right?
But he's got the only thing better than caffeine to keep you awake. Pure unbridled rage.
Yes.
Why can't I get you to drink like this on our Friday night co-streams? This is all I want. This is literally all I aim for. Speaking of streams, our stream schedule is a little foobarred this week because it's Thursday, as you can tell, if you are on planet Earth. We are not going to be doing a co-stream tomorrow night. No. But we are going to be doing a Saturday night co-stream. Rage Against the Machine, Nosage. Rage.
Oh, I'm raging.
We're going to do a Saturday night co-stream, and then Sunday, Corporal's going to lace up his cleats and play Mario Strikers demo during the single-hour window that's available. And hopefully it goes better than the Switch Sports demo. Otherwise, it's going to turn into a Monster Hunter stream very quickly.
Very quickly.
Okay, let's kick things off. The big news this week. The biggest news. There was a lot of news this week, but there's one piece of news that all the other news cowers in fear of. What were you going to say?
If this is what you're referring to, then I agree with you.
Yes!
I thought you were going to say this.
What? No, well, for me emotionally, but yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get to that.
So, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had a 3-minute trailer. And how, may you ask, does a 3-minute trailer literally derail our entire episode? Because that's basically what happened.
So, we here at the Nintendads podcast, and those of you who have been listening to us for a long enough time, go ahead and take a shot. You would know that we have made an episode on less news cycles in the past. We have
creep up
the bottom of the barrel to find the dingiest of news in order to fill an episode before. We have reached into the past and pulled up historical facts about Nintendo in order to fill in an episode before.
That's true. The Fun Facts episode. That was a good one. I like that one.
This week, we got bombarded with so much news in the past 36 hours, I had to take my entire news script cycle and just throw it.
I feel like we have the same vibe as like a 1940s like news. Like, we're newsies. We're like, well, golly jeepers, can you believe what came over the wire this morning?
So, while I am extremely excited about this Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and while there is so much exciting things to talk about Scarlet and Violet, all I can see is ruby red.
Yes. So, now you've totally derailed my thought. Oh my gosh, Twitch! Why? Why are you so loud in my ear?
Hi, Twitch. That's okay, Nosage. Someone unpaid intern wrote it. Yes, yeah, that's true.
So yes, so Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer dropped, and
without having any information, just the title, Scarlet or Violet, which one are you going to buy? You're going to buy Violet.
I literally have a Dungeons and Dragons character whose main, like, thing is the color purple.
Yes. Yes. And I am most certainly going to get Scarlet.
Oh. So there is actually, I didn't put something in here.
Somebody on Twitch. Guitar, Violet, yes. You're siding with Presto over there.
Yes. Literally, my start bar on my PC is purple. And
my colors.
My theme, here we go. Nobody ever notices when I change my colors. We did all the Capcom streams, and I changed them to blue and yellow for Capcom. Yeah. Nobody said anything. Underappreciated. Anyway, so Scarlet and Violet came out, and the big news, this is the first time this ever happened, so this is following on the success of Arceus, so it's going to be an open world game. They already confirmed it was going to be open world. That's not news. The news is, between you and me, it's going to be multiplayer. For the first time, you are going to have the ability to have 3 friends, so 4 people per lobby or world, or I don't really know what we want to call it, but 4 people can play online together and explore the open world cooperatively and independently, because in the trailer there's a little NPC and he's like, with the power of science, you and 3 other friends, up to 4 people can play in a world, and it shows 4 different trainers, and then the trailer splits and you see each of those trainers going into a different area, and one goes to a snow level, one goes to a forest, one goes to a desert, and then later in the trailer they come back together, showcasing that you can be in the multiplayer lobby, and it's not like Sword and Shield where you're in a raid together and then the raid's over and then that's it. You're actually moving around the map, and that's a big deal. Like,
all I can hear is, with the power of science, this is Nintendo proving to you that our technology is still from the 1980s.
Right? Multiplayer! Online multiplayer! Oh my god! It's 2001! It's amazing!
Like, where have you been, Japan? Did you not know that the rest of the world moved forward through time?
Right.
Like, come on.
Danny Boy, thank you for liking and sharing the stream. And Dom also, thank you for liking the stream. That's kind of Monster Hunter-esque if you can team up on big pokies. Yes, so that is... Bernie said nobody's coming to Lavalette. Yeah, John Tendo, welcome in. So multiplayer, open world multiplayer has some implications, right? So in Sword and Shield, they had the raids, where it was you went and you fought the raid boss, and it was like, it's pretty simple. But if they are putting such a heavy emphasis on 4-player multiplayer, what other utility and what other things around the game are going to feature that? Thank you, John Tendo, for the 45 stars.
Woo,
Appreciate you. To me, 4-player multiplayer.
We have to remember that we are streaming to Twitch and to Facebook at the same time. So those of you who are on Facebook, you can come on over to Twitch and say hi. And
yes, we are.
Twitch, our donations are coming from Facebook. So.
We are a Caterpie away from getting Twitch affiliate. The only thing we have to do is get our average views to above 3, which you would think would be very easy, but we've literally spent a year streaming on Twitch like to nobody because we never promoted it. So we have like a weighted average. We're like the kid that flunked the test and is dragging the bell curve down.
Way down.
Actually, that would work the opposite, because then that kid would be doing better because, yeah. Anyway.
Math.
Multiplayer. So they're not just going to be like, okay, we're hinging the success of this game on 4-player multiplayer, and that's it. Like, I think there's going to be dungeons or raids or bosses or something that utilizes, that's specifically designed to take advantage of 4-player multiplayer.
So, in the Twitch chat, imagine item crafting for sure, since you could team up in lobbies to make Pokey Candy, Puffins, and some older in some of the older games. So I was actually thinking about that. What if a player gets knocked out? Does that player get teleported back, or can another player come and help out the fight or revive them? Like, there's a lot of mechanic here.
Oh my god! If you can have 4 people in a lobby, that potentially allows you to do 2v2 battles, team battles. That would be amazing.
Which is something that happens very often in most Pokemon stories. Mechanically, they have you and your rival team up to fight the dual baddies.
Yeah.
Like, so it's very possible that could just be a mechanic that they can, like, build into the game. Like, there's a lot that they can twist on this.
Yeah.
Would find out.
And it's the game up. So another big piece of news is they announced a release date. It is releasing. So it was previously said releasing holiday 2022. Now we've gotten clarification on that. It's releasing Friday, November 18th. November 18th. Okay. That's before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, they're serious. This is going to be their holiday heavy hitter, the Triple H, if you will.
They're putting it in there just in time for Black Friday sales.
Yeah. Not that they're going to ever discount their mainline games.
Of course not. But there will be console discounts because manufacturers, retail stores always provide some sort of console discount. So their hope is to get more people to buy the console with this new game coming out.
I wonder if they'll launch it as a bundle. Because they've pretty much done that. I mean, they did that with Monster Hunter. There's no way they're not going to do it with a mainline Pokemon game.
Yeah, that could be.
So this game is not a spin-off. It's a mainline game. So trainer battles are back. We didn't have... Like, there was there was a lot of emphasis on exploring and catching in Arceus. And now this is more of a return to form. You're going to have trainer battles. I assume that there's going to be PvP. It would be insane if there was 4-player lobbies and not PvP. So that wasn't specifically talked about, but there's no way that it's not. The 2 legendaries for the different versions were revealed, and now it's usually Corporal is the one butchering names, but now it's my turn. Koraidon, and Mira Odogaron? Mira Odon. One is fiery and sort of feathery and stuff, and then the other one has jets, like jet boosters for legs. He doesn't have legs. He's just floating in the air, and they're jets. And his eye is like a digital eye, and he's like a carbon fiber mouth.
And everyone online says that the image that they released for him looks like a schlong.
They both look like schlongs.
I mean,
they both look like motorcycles.
But the one with the jets as his feet.
Oh, I see. I gotcha. Not my first thought, but I understand. So one of them is very like primal, fiery. The other one's very futuristic. Similar. I think this might be the first time I haven't played all the Pokemon main series games, but there's 2 professors that you're gonna get. I forgot their names. I think one of them is Professor Turo, and the other one is, I forget, but it's the Scarlet version is gonna have a female who looks like she's like sort of like a cave woman, like primal, natural stuff going on. She's got like some fur and stuff. And then the Violet is very futuristic. He's got like a slim suit. He's got some Tron things. So between the legendaries and the professors, I am very convinced that there's going to be that time travel is going to be a thing.
Interesting.
Because you have old school futuristic professors, old school futuristic legendaries, and we are literally coming out of Arceus, which is about going into the past. So I think this is going to be... And at the end of the trailer, they show a shiny Pokeball going through a very vague space with like all these like silver shiny crystals. So I think we're looking at a time travel theme.
I like that. I like the idea of I mean, when you were describing the professor, immediately like instilled the fact that I would rather have Scarlet than it's so on the nose, like with us. You're very like old school, like rugged. Yep. I'm very like future technology. Like it's perfect. It's perfect. And I mean, we'll have to just stream each one separately. Maybe I'll stream the Twitch and you'll stream the Facebook or something.
So the only way that's going to be a big problem is if the 2 versions can't play multiplayer with each other.
Oh.
Because then
that would be a problem.
So I'm going to say this right now. Black 2 and White 2 did similar where it was nature versus tech. Interesting.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw down a gauntlet right now. If you cannot do multiplayer, because we obviously have to be able to play together. Yeah. If you cannot do multiplayer between versions, you and I are going to have a Pokemon battle. And whoever wins gets to decide.
A card battle?
No.
Manual card battle?
Listen, you don't want to do manual card battles with me. See that? That's a holographic Charizard from 1997, okay? Y'all want to play with me like that. I don't know what version, because I don't have Sword and Shield anymore, and we can't battle an Arceus.
You don't have Sword and Shield anymore?
No, I sold Shield. Do you see it? It's not there. I sold it. I sold it in the Walmart parking lot. If we have to, do you agree that we will battle? I don't know what version, I don't know what format, we will battle, and the winner...
You would have to, not only do you have to choose a format, but then you'd also have to choose, because maybe I don't have the game, so what, I'm going to walk in with my level 1 Pikachu?
No, we'll make it fair. It'll be a fair thing. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyway. The real...
We'll have to stream the battle.
Oh yeah. We should do that regardless, now that I'm thinking about it. It'll either be the battle to decide whether we get Scarlet or Violet, or if we end up doing it and we can have our own versions, then it'll just be Scarlet versus Violet. Like when we reach like an appropriate point. Yes! Dom is over on the Twitch side. Thank you for helping us getting our viewer count up. He says Pokken. Nice. He says Pokken battle.
Pokken battle.
Because he knows I'll have a distinct advantage. That's a fighting game. The real big news about Scarlet and Violet is a little guy named, and I thought this was a joke. When I first saw this, I thought somebody edited the video and that it was a meme.
Yeah.
There is a pig Pokemon named Lechonk. 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 And that is the best Pokemon name that I've ever heard in my life. They're never going to be able to top this. I'm dying to know what the evolutions are of Lechonk.
Oh.
Where do you go? Where do you go from Lechonk?
I don't know, but that's a pretty good question.
Lechonk evolves into Zbeef.
Zbeef. And then the final form is like a grotesque, flubbering meat patty.
Named Ham Slam. Ham Slam. I was very close to naming my D&D character Ham Slam Porkstorm.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been pretty
I was gonna make a giant barbarian with the lowest lowest intelligence possible and the highest health pool, and his name was gonna be Porkstorm Ham Slam. Lechungus. Oh, Kyle, welcome in. Good to see you in the chat. North Stars.
Woo! Welcome in. Think it's a play on food because it's fried pork belly. That's Filipino, not quite Spanish.
Yeah. So I've heard that. So yeah, lechon is like a pork dish or pork belly. It's like I don't know if it's like a Latin root or whatever. But the fact that they did the original name is like lechon, because I think it's like a little bit different in other languages. And the North American localization team looked at that and go, what would the American version of this be? Lechonk. Lechonk. Kaiser, welcome in. Thank you for liking the stream. Welcome to episode 60 of the Nintendads podcast. So yeah, Lechonk.
For those of you who are in our Discord channel, I am actively just dropping images of Lechonk into the channel.
I will happily, when this game comes out, I will happily make Lechonk our like notification thing.
Yes.
Like when somebody it's just Lechonk, but then it's Bernie's voice. Hey, you're watching the Nintendads podcast. I'm enjoying their liberal use of Spanish in general. Yeah. We need a Lechon release party. Ooh, yeah. When this game launches, we can do like a pork themed lechonk celebration.
Yes.
Pork party.
We'll have to have a pulled pork sandwiches and some ribs. And...
Please stop. I'm getting so hungry. Okay, so that is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You see why this became a news episode now, right? I'm just saying. Mario Strikers Battle League. Wait, the dish is called Lechon Kawaii. Oh! I see. Lechon Kawaii. So it translates to, like, cute pig. Like, the dish is called like that, like small pig. And then that is genius. That is really smart. I stand by my statement that Lechonk is the best Pokemon name ever created. The design is good, but the name is epic. So Mario Strikers. Oh, it's Kawaii. Okay. Oh, got it. Lechonk is a fat, chubby cat. Says Bernie. No, he's not. He's a pig.
Can you've got the stream. Throw a picture. I just sent you a image of the Pokemon card. The category, the type, the height, the ability, the logo.
Where did you send it? It's on Discord?
It's in Discord.
Okay.
General.
You guys are about to see Lechonk.
Go to the general chat so you can see it.
Oh my god. Why would you do that second picture? That's traumatizing.
Go ahead.
Oh no! Hold on. I have to close Discord on my phone. It just messed up the stream. We were frozen for a second.
Oh,
you know what? That happened during the D&D stream, and we didn't know why. And now I know why. It's because you had Discord open on your phone.
Yes.
The more you know. Anyway, I can't show you Lechonk because it will freeze. Oh no, I can bring it up. I can bring it up like this. You guys are just going to see a whole bunch of our Discord. Lechonk. That is Lechonk, the hog Pokemon. He's 1 foot 8 inches high and he weighs 22.5 pounds. His abilities are Aroma Veil and Gluttony. I don't really want to know what Aroma Veil means.
He's gonna fart.
Oh man. Anyway, Mario Strikers Battle League. The demo is out. You can play through all the tutorial things as of now, and then they're doing this weird stuff again where you can test it online this weekend, but only during very weird hours.
Yeah.
Corporal's going to do it on Sunday, but...
They did this with, not Wii Sports.
Switch Sports.
Switch Sports, where it was only available to stream during very specific, very limited times, and it just... I don't understand. Like, I get that they're trying to stress test their servers, but they make the windows near impossible to land for anybody who's got a normal life.
Well, anybody who lives outside of the West Coast, because it really is like West Coast. Well, I don't know. Even these times are weird. They're just weird.
Test, yeah, Twitch chat. The server stress tests are disguised as a demo. Yes.
Yeah. So, have you had a chance to play the tutorials yet?
No.
So, let me fill you in without going into too much detail. There's a lot going on in this game. There is passing. You can normal hit the buttons and you pass, but pretty much every mechanic has a timing element to it. So you can pass to somebody, you can pass, and then you can shoot. But if you time your button presses correctly, so you pass, and then as soon as you start passing, you let go and you start holding pass, and then you release it right as the other player gets it, you get a boost to the speed. Same thing with shots. Same thing with dodges. If someone's dodging into you and you dodge at the right time, you get a special like bonus. This is cool because it adds a layer of timing and it increases the skill ceiling without making the barrier to entry higher, which is always good. That's something we've talked about this before. Normal moves, charge moves and perfect timing moves. However, the timing on these moves is fairly strict for a Mario sports title, and it's going to be 4v4 soccer online, and I shudder to think about trying to time some of these moves on online multiplayer run by Nintendo, because it's just like a fact at this point that Nintendo's online is lacking in 90% of cases. Monster Hunter Rise, great. I don't know that the timing.
Keep in mind, Monster Hunter Rise was the first game to test their new multiplayer server.
True, that's true. Yeah. So I can't imagine this. But then again, Switch Sports was also on the new servers, and that was a dumpster fire. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess for different, like, that was just total shutdown versus, like, latency. But it looks like a fun game. I'm still on the fence about it. If it wasn't coming out a week, or not a week, but if it wasn't coming out a couple weeks before Sunbreak, I think I would be more open to it. It also is like, I think it's going to be pretty hectic. I think this game is perfect if you have 3 other friends who want to get into it with you.
Okay.
Because playing this game with random people online is going to be frustrating, and trying to play it in single player is going to be crazy.
Because of how hard it is.
Actually, you know what? It's not 4v4, it's 3v3, because the goalie is always a computer. I think.
Interesting.
In the demo, it's 4 players versus 4 players, but in both cases, the goalie was a specific character that you couldn't choose from and that you couldn't rotate to with your player. So I think the goalie is always going to be an NPC, and it's going to be 3-on-3. Technically 4-on-4, but actual humans 3-on-3.
I wonder why.
Probably so that poor person who plays the goalie doesn't get emotional damage from everybody blaming them every time they lose.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's the default thing, right? Oh, blame the goalie, you should have stayed in goal, you ruined, like... Yeah. If that's why, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
What else about this? I mean, it's hectic. I thought the demo was pretty hectic. When you get into the more advanced things, there's gear customization, there's stats, there's all kinds of craziness, and it looks cool. I checked the site. It looks like the live play times will be versus anyone and join friends. So maybe if you play with pals, it won't be so bad. Oh,
okay.
Interesting. So you can do team. You can do actual friend stuff. I might have to disappear on Sunday and jump into your stream. Yeah, could happen. You never know. Okay. I feel like I'm talking so much. So if you wanna skip ahead to whatever you want.
I mean, Diablo Immortals being a early release drop, I thought was really cool.
Rob Lynch, welcome in. Yeah, that was surprising. I think so. The PC version, I think, came out on the normal day, but the mobile version came out early.
Yeah, which, I mean, the game in itself came. So
I can't believe the game came out at all.
I mean, true. Accurate with everything that's been going on, but I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong. I read the chat somewhere. There's microtransactions that are built into it.
Yes. So there was Diablo 3, and there's gonna be Diablo 4. But this is a free-to-play Diablo game primarily made for mobile, and at the last minute they said, you know what, we're going to do a PC release too, because we know streamers...
You held up the wrong device. You meant for mobile.
There's no Switch version!
Yeah, but we all know that there will be soon.
I don't know.
This is a glorified cell phone.
I mean, FaceTime me with it then. You can't. Watch Netflix on it then. You can't.
You can watch Hulu.
Great. I bet there's literally dozens of people excited about that.
It's purely, if I had to guess, a company thing.
Somebody made a deal.
Yeah, not a limitation.
Somebody made a deal. Either that or Netflix is just being a dick and being like, well, yeah, you just have to pay us $5 million and we'll release the app on the platform. Yeah. Either that or Nintendo is saying, cough up $5 million and we'll put you on 2 million devices.
Yeah.
Could go either way. Yeah, so Diablo Immortal is free to play, and it has microtransactions. It has a battle pass, it has cosmetics. The battle pass has items that affect your stats that you can unlock. I haven't played it enough to really see if that's a problem yet, but if you search Diablo Immortal pay to win, there's a lot of results, which is worrying.
Interesting.
I think it's
one
more
of the reasons why the Pokemon game didn't do so well was the pay to win model that they
Pokemon Unite got absolutely slammed.
So, and that was a decent concept for a game. So
I mean, it still does well. Like, people still play it.
I thought that they would have learned from that most recent lesson not to have something like that in.
Yeah, but this is Blizzard. Blizzard. They don't... They're going to make their own mistakes.
And then again, and then again, and again.
Jeremy, welcome back. What are you having for dinner? You always have food that I'm jealous of.
Yes, you're constantly cooking. If you wanted to join our Discord channel, we discuss a lot of things, and then Jeremy throws in what he's cooking.
Chef Fate Maker. But yeah, I've been playing it. It's fun. I'm playing a Necromancer. Chicken chorizo, chicken broth. Oh, I'm sorry that I asked because now I'm hungry as hell.
Onions, potatoes, green chilies, red peppers, and a little salt and pepper.
I just imagine Corporal putting all those ingredients in a pot and doing like Breath of the Wild's cooking. Like,
yes. Ask Lady Sage. That's how I cook. There's instructions that says cut this, do that, cut this, put this into simmer, and I'm just like, but wait, hold on. Down here it says they all go in together. Just put them all in at once. Like, I would just skip to the end result and add heat.
I follow I can't cook worth a damn, so I follow the directions to a T, and if I ever have to cook without it, I have a panic attack.
I mean, yes, Fate Maker makes a good point. Slow cookers, you just throw everything.
Slow cookers are the equalizer for cooking skill. And air fryer. We have an air fryer. I'm like, oh, this old shoe, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to make it for lunch. Put it in the air fryer. So Diablo Immortal's fun. It's just good. It's just good. It's solid so far. I can't find a reason to dislike it. And I usually try to find reasons to dislike mobile-only, free-to-play microtransaction games from
with
Blizzard.
That in mind, then, what's your thoughts on the news release of Marvel Snap?
I'm significantly more excited about Marvel Snap than I am for Diablo Immortal.
So, I made a joke earlier about Uno, and somebody in chat mentioned Marvel Uno.
Oh, yeah.
So, I am honestly very excited about Marvel Uno. Because...
Stop calling it. People are going to get confused. They'll be like, wait, is it really Uno?
Marvel Uno, a.k.a. Marvel Snap. You essentially have a deck of cards with different characters, and you have to strategically play your characters versus your opponent. Like, this isn't a turn-based game. This isn't a I go first, you go second, like it would be with like Witcher card games or some of the other things that you see.
The most obscure card game you can think of. That's your example.
No, Gwent is a great game.
There's a famous thing where CD Projekt Red was like a new thing, and everybody was going and it says like The Witcher, and everybody goes and then it goes Gwent, Witcher card game, and everybody goes oh. Have you not seen that clip?
I have a long time ago. I have, but Gwent is a great game. I'll be honest.
Sure.
I went online and found an Etsy shop that makes and sells the entire card collection for Gwent.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
It's $160 because there's 7 decks, and it comes in this big, beautiful wooden carved case. But it's like you walk into a game room and carrying like the bigger, blacker box. You know the big box.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things.
Oh, nice.
But it's like a wooden carved thing or a plastic.
That sounds right up your alley, actually.
it's phenomenal.
So it's not like Gwent.
It's not like Gwent at all.
Go through all this time describing it. That thing we just told you all about, not like that at all.
Nothing like that. You described it better.
So, the game, your whole deck is 12 cards. The whole game is 6 turns, and it's over, like, the games are meant to be, like, between 3 and 5 minutes. So, as you're playing, there's 3 locations. You put your heroes at each location, whatever location you want, and you have to win 2 out of 3 locations to win the game. That's, in essence, what it is. And then, you'll have Hulk, and you'll put him down, and he'll have a lot of power. Or you'll play Iron Man, and he has no power, but he boosts all the power of the people on the same locations as him. Or this person who will teleport to another location, or duplicate themselves, or lock your opponent out from being able to play a card next turn. There's all these different ins and outs in strategy, but it's all wrapped up in this very tight-knit package that's really short, deceptively simple
and
games.
Don't get confused by the fact that it's Marvel. This isn't like Marvel MCU Marvel. This is comic Marvel.
No, this is. Hold on, I have the exact art style of Marvel that this is. I just don't know.
It is the original comic book art style.
Is this baby? Maybe not exactly like this, but it is old school. It is old school art, and the cards look absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna pull my microphone out of the socket here, trying to put this book back.
Yet again, for those of you who are in our Discord channel, I'm dropping some pictures in.
Oof, Jim Lee. R.I.P. to the great Jim Lee. Yeah, so I'm excited about Marvel Snap. I'm not excited that they're currently only doing a closed alpha for Android users.
And they do that the same year that I got rid of my Android phone for the first time.
Do you really not have an Android phone at all now?
No, I have 100% transitioned over to Apple.
Then why are you always complaining about the group chats? I thought that was why. Anyway, that's a conversation for later. Marvel Snap. It's all snapping. It looks really good. Oh, wait, that's the other huge element of this game. I'm so glad I just made that joke. So, when you play somebody, you're playing for the, like the universal cubes. Like the galaxy, I forget what they're called, but they're cubes, right? And how many cubes you have determines your rank. So when we play, we are playing for 1 cube, right? I put a cube up, you put a cube up. If I win, I take your cube. If you win, you take my cube. On the last turn, on turn 6, the cubes double automatically. So it's always you're going to win 2 or you're going to lose 2. At any point before the last turn, you can retreat, and you only lose 1 cube. But if you stay to the end and you lose 2 cubes. So on the right before the last turn, when all the hands are played and all the things are dealt, you get to decide, if I think I'm going to win, I'm going to stay in and I'm going to win 2. But if I think I'm going to win and I don't run away, I'm going to lose 2. Or I'm going to win. You either think you're going to win 2 or you're thinking to lose 2. If you know you're going to lose, you're out of there. You've only lost 1 cube. A second layer, thank you for liking the stream, Lorenz. The second element of this is on turns 4 and 5, you can snap and double the bet.
Ooh.
So on turn 4, if I am feeling supremely confident, I can snap and make it 2 cubes. And then at the end, the last turn, that doubles to 4 cubes. Or I can snap on turn 4. I don't know how this works. But basically, we both can snap. So if I snap because I know I'm going to win, you snap because you know you're going to win, then the last turn it doubles, you can essentially win or lose 8 cubes. That's the maximum you can do. But this adds an extra layer of strategy to the game, because if there's a big moment where the game is really close and I snap, I can be bluffing. I can psych you out into thinking that I know that I'm going to win, and you can be like, well, I'm not going to lose 4 cubes. This is such a tight game. He must have something crazy. I'm not losing 4 cubes. I'm just going to take my 1 loss and hit the road. So there's this almost like poker-esque column or raise. Lorenz, thank you for following, by the way. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
That I really like. I think that strategy is going to be interesting. So Marvel Snap. What do you think about open world Sonic, Corporal? You might even call it Breath of the Wild of Sonic. Sonic Breath of the Wild.
When Breath of the Wild was announced, I championed for this game. I stood on every rooftop in my neighborhood and had the cops called on me, because this game, the concept of Breath of the Wild, was phenomenal. And the hour I got my hands on it, I immediately turned to you and Nick Yeti and said, there should be a Pokemon game that's reskinned Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon. And if you've been listening to us long enough, take a shot and go back to our episode 2. Wow. And you'll hear me say those words, that there should be a reskinned Breath of the Wild that is Pokemon.
Well, it only took them 6 years to do that, right?
Forever. But, I'll be honest, I don't want a Sonic open world game. I was never a fan of Sonic CD and our Sega CD Sonic games. And no, Sonic is one of 2 things: a really crappy cartoon or a movie that I'll enjoy for nostalgic purposes, or a side-scrolling game. That's it.
Now, hold on there.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2 for the GameCube was great.
Sure.
Come on. Did you even have it?
It was okay.
You didn't own it.
I did not own it.
Nah, see, that's why.
I've played it.
Sonic Adventure 2 is great. I think an open world Sonic is interesting, but half the beauty of Sonic in 2D is the level design, right?
Have you looked at Sonic from the back? His head is weirdly shaped. I don't want to look at that all day.
I'm not sure how Sonic would be very repetitive very quickly. Yeah. So there was.
It's not like you're going to be Breath of the Wild going into different camps and taking over different bad guys and picking up different weapons and having ranged attacks and then building shields and armor and no, this is Sonic. You're gonna jump, you're gonna smash, you're gonna collect coins, or you're not, and you're gonna move on.
The demo looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous, But like,
no, you can't stop. This is not the graphics episode. No, you can't talk about it. Move on.
but the story's just not there. It looks gorgeous graphic wise, but the level looks like a tech demo. And I mean, maybe that, I don't know how early it is, but there's just like structures and like grind rails in the middle of the air, and I don't know. Sonic, here's a question. What's your favorite Sonic game?
I truly think that my favorite game is Sonic and Knuckles, but I really enjoyed Sonic 2 like the best, because that's where Nick Yeti came to my house one summer and practically lived in my home for the entire school summer break. And my iguana sat on our shoulders, and we took turns who got to held the iguana. His name was Detail, and Detail would just hang out on our shoulders, and we would what you don't.
His name was Detail?
He had a detailed mission to be rescued. He was a dying lizard, and he was going to be fed to a bunch of snakes. And while he was in the snake cage, and the snake was wrapping himself around him, we came in and we were like, we want that one. And we made the pet guy take him out of the snake's clutches so that we could bring him home. He was a detailed mission to be rescued, and that's why his name is Detail.
So his name couldn't have been Hope or...
No.
Or like...
It's an iguana, you don't name it Hope.
You named it Detail!
Yo, I was like 10. Get over it.
Detail!
Anyway.
That's... Anyway, what were we talking about? Sonic.
So
Open world. Sonic 2.
We played Sonic 2, like, no lie, we kept the console on at night. We would lay a blanket over the top of the console so my mom wouldn't see that the red. No lie, we kept that console running all the way through Lent, because I was supposed to give up playing video games through Lent.
Sonic 2 is not that long. What are you talking about?
For us, it was hard.
It was hard, but either you won or you died within like an hour.
No, we made like a thing that you would try to collect as many coins as possible in every single chance that you got, so that you would have so many extra lives. So if you do lose, we can just come back to it. We played that game for forever. And then when we finally did beat it, we then took Sonic and Knuckles and we played that game forever. And then we stuck Sonic 2 into Sonic and Knuckles, and then it got crazy.
Yeah. Helen, thank you for liking the stream.
Welcome.
Fate Maker said The Lion King. That was hard. We've talked about that. Corporal has it, yeah.
When that game came out, it came out remastered with Lion King and with Aladdin. And Lady Sage loved the Lion King game, so we bought the dual pack. Although I'm mad because now they've got it's a triple pack that's available now. I feel like I got
should have waited. Do you have to buy the DLC for the third game now?
No, hold on. Lion King.
Okay, while he waxes nostalgic about Lion King NES, yeah, my favorite Sonic was Sonic 2 for the music alone, but also because Sonic 2 was great. So open world Sonic, it's called Sonic Frontiers. I don't know about it.
Yes, it's the triple pack is the Aladdin, Lion King, and Jungle Book game. They released the Jungle Book game as a triple. It's the collector's edition.
I never played the Jungle Book game. I never even seen the Jungle Book game.
The exact same game. It's just been reskinned.
Yeah. Aladdin on Sega was different from the Nintendo version. Really?
It was. So the collector's edition. We're going to rehash this now.
I remember
the
this.
Collector's edition that you can buy for the Nintendo Switch or for the Xbox allows you to choose which platform you are going to play that game on. So if you wanted to play the original Aladdin on Sega or the original Aladdin on N6 wasn't N64, it was NES.
NES. What are the differences between the two versions?
There's different levels, and there's different pacings, and there's different rhythms.
Really? Genesis Aladdin was done by the guy who did Earthworm Jim. I played it on Genesis.
I loved Earthworm Jim as well.
Earthworm Jim is... You can play Earthworm Jim through the Nintendo expansion pack now. The online service. Earthworm Jim.
Cool.
Big Jimbo. So yeah.
I will not applaud for anything for the Nintendo online service.
Oh my god, there was no magic carpet level on the NES version of Aladdin? Yes. That's hot trash. Sega had a flying magic carpet level. Yeah, of course, it was the best level. S tier. Nintendo version is F tier. Moving on. Open world Sonic. It's open world Sonic. I don't know. That it's like a pizza sandwich. It just doesn't really work, but might still be delicious.
If you wanted, I will gladly stream the Lion King or the Aladdin game at some point, just so that people can watch me fail.
Facebook will bury us in a hole. An unmarked grave in the woods if you stream a game that old. It's like, what? This game's so old I don't even have it. You have to put it under retro games. You ain't never had a friend like me. It's funny. So yeah, what else? We talked about Marvel's Street Fighter 6.
Don't just talk about that already. Oh
no, we skipped it. So Street Fighter 6 news literally came out
30 minutes.
Like 30 minutes before. Well, it's probably an hour and 30 minutes by the time we started. But Street Fighter 6 is going to have a new art style that looks more similar to Street Fighter 4. But it's got a heavy element on paint and graffiti, which I think looks really cool. I'm curious to see more. It has an easy control mode where instead of doing directional inputs, you're going to be able to hold a button and do side special, up special, down special. So you're essentially going, and you're going to have combos where you can hold an assist button and hit an attack. Corporal, this applies to you. I'm talking about easy control schemes for a fighting game.
This is the mechanics. And guess what episode we're not talking about right now?
It also has a story mode. It also has a full-fleshed single-player story mode. Same with Spidey coming to PC. Oh my god. Breaking news. Spidey's coming to PC, and I'm absolutely getting it. I didn't see that.
It's not Spider-Man Cartoon Maker. Just relax.
No.
I'm gonna just Spider-Man Cartoon Maker was a game that was available where you could take Spider-Man stickers and scenes and put them together, and you could hit record and then add stickers and then make the stickers move and add voice or your own voice or pre-made voices or sound effects, and then draw on the screen and then hit end of record, and you would make these little like clips.
The best.
In our young age, Presto's favorite thing to do was to make Spidey walk into the room and pee on a barrel, and it explodes everything.
That's how every cartoon would end.
It didn't matter how amazing of a story we made or how epic of an adventure Spidey just went on.
It always ended.
He always peed on a barrel and blew everything.
Roll credit. I didn't know that. I didn't see State of Play. I just saw the Street Fighter thing from the Capcom Discord. So Spider-Man's coming to PC. Sick. Cool. You're in trouble.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That was a quality joke. Dad joke
golf right there. And also Resident Evil 4 Remake, which, right? It's 4's turn. They did 2, they did 3, now they're up to 4. Our children will be playing the Resident Evil Village remake, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So easy controller mode. There's some kind of new drive system that's different than a traditional meter. New art style. The last point I want to make on this is something super cool that has never been done in a fighting game before. And that is live dynamic commentary. So the idea is to replicate a tournament experience where you're playing, two players are playing, and you have commentators saying like, all right, well, he needs to watch out. He has a health lead, but he's down this and that, and oh my god, I can't believe he can't. They are recording actual fighting game commentators and building them into the game and building a whole engine that it will play live commentary voice lines
recordings
in reaction and narrating what is happening in the match in real time. And that is so cool.
It is really cool. I'll give you that.
It's like a next level version of what they do in like sports games, like baseball games, because half of baseball is just listening to the commentary.
Most of you will judge me, but there is a YouTube channel called I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's Marbles Racing.
I love marbles racing.
The Marbles Olympics or whatever. Yes. And the guy commentates the blue marble and the red marble and the green marble and the purple swill marble and like, oh my god, I enjoy his commentary of what these marbles do, and they are just marbles.
Yeah, there's some country, as I've learned about, only through the marble thing. Grabtacular says Pokemon Stadium did it first.
That's true.
It's a one-hit wonder, and there goes the battle. Oh, there it goes. I played a lot of Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah. It's also a game Nick Yeti and I played a lot.
It's so good. Yeah, so it looks good. The mechanics look solid. I'm very interested to see more about this drive gauge, which is sort of like the unique thing about it. It's a lot of resource. It looks more resource management than other games because you have 6 drive meters or drive chunks, and it's like I can choose to spend 1 or 2 of those drive chunks to power through an attack that's being thrown at me and like automatically counter it. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm gonna get it, but I'm not sold on it being like a good system yet. What are you up to, Corporal? You look like you're doing something sneaky.
Nope.
No, I know you're doing something sneaky. Probably having like an altimeter that fills up throughout the match. Yeah, it does. You use it and then it fills up slowly. So it's not like a traditional meter.
I rolled a 3.
Oh, are we rolling? Oh no, where are my dice? I cleaned. What are we rolling for?
I was rolling to see if I was going to just go absolutely hog wild and slam another beer.
What can I roll for that?
I rolled a 3, so you can roll.
So what's your DC on alcoholism?
On alcoholism.
What is it? What's your DC for chugging another beer?
15.
15? Jesus Christ!
That's
15. Do I get a bonus for charisma?
No.
10.
I rolled a 13, so.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah, Street Fighter 6 looks interesting. It's not coming out for Switch, unfortunately, but unsurprisingly.
I played X-Men Children of the Atom. It's a fighting game back in the day, and it had an altimeter like that, though it was only 2 separate levels.
Yes! I played that game. It was like a 3D, it wasn't 3D, it was a 2D fighter, but it was like 3D models. I think I know what you're talking about. Yes. Oh, can I get in on the roll? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me just answer.
You're just gonna.
I don't know if we can do. I don't know if we can do roll commands in
Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't think so. You'd have to do it on Facebook, I think.
Fate Maker says he rolled the nat 17. I believe him. He's a very honest fellow.
I believe him. Now I gotta go downstairs and go get a beer.
Oh, you have to go downstairs? What the heck? Corporal will chug a beer on Discord after this episode, which we are getting close to the end of, because I'm out of things to say about Street Fighter. The only Fate Maker, you're my new favorite person. Got my gaming dice right beside me. Lol, you guys' fault. I like this. I'm gonna change. We need to change plans at the last second more often. This is fun.
No.
Someone needs a mini fridge. Absolutely. Look, you see this? Grabtacular? I'm a professional, okay? Right there.
Mini fridge is actually loaded with... So I have a mini fridge downstairs.
It was loaded until this weekend stream. Jeez.
But my mini fridge downstairs is used for my coffee creamers, because coffee's important. I don't have a salutation.
Cheers. How about cheers to Sunbreak news, because that's the last thing that we have to talk about. And if I talk,
all of your rolls be high.
That's delicious. The last thing is my timeline and part of my brain erupted, bursted into flames today, because Capcom gave the okay for like a dozen media outlets and influencers to release new gameplay, basically full Lunageron fights, full Garen Golan fights, full Seregios fights.
We're referring to Sunbreak fights, actual game footage from Sunbreak, which hasn't released yet. They lifted the embargo on those game footages, so people who have gotten early releases and who have played them were able to release. It was limited clips.
I think it was the official footage from Capcom, but then they were allowed to talk about their experiences because they did the same hunts of the footage that was being shown.
So it wasn't their hunt, it was Capcom's video.
Yeah, but they did that same hunt. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, their commentary. Yeah.
Which is funny because there was 20 videos and they all have the same footage edited together in different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there were full fights. As well, they released 3 separate photos today for Secret War films. Ooh. That's cool. But yeah, we learned some things. We learned some things that the Gunlance is getting. Thank you, Cow Slayer, for always staying on top of that. We learned that there's going to be more Switch skills. I just am really looking forward. I'm a huge mechanics guy.
Yeah. And
I was very excited about the Switch skills, but now that I'm getting to see the new monsters and how they're going to fight, I'm getting very excited.
There's not more Bishatin, so...
There is more Bishatin! I mean, not today's footage.
Yeah.
But...
yes, there is a Bishatin. That's nice.
No, I almost said burnt orange. Blood orange Bishatin.
Yeah.
Is coming, and
he's
going to be new.
How there should be a seasonal Bishatin. There should be a Bishatin fight that is seasonal. There needs to be a Halloween Bishatin who throws...
Sometimes I wonder if you're secretly a furry.
who throws pumpkins. There needs to be a Christmas Bishatin that throws... like Christmas trees or acorns. There needs to be a
Christmas trees.
A spring Bishatin that throws flowers.
Pollen. Just pollen.
There needs to be a seasonal Bishatin, and each one is
Lemonade Shandy Bishatin. Thank you, Grabtacular. Yeah, so the one. I mean, there's a lot of people discussed, similar things. They showed follow requests. They showed new, like where the NPC can go on fights with you. The one thing almost every report said is they got absolutely flattened in their hunts. They said there's one thing that's super clear from what they played, and it's that Capcom took the criticism that Rise was too easy very seriously, and master rank monsters, especially the new guys, are not to be trifled with. They are. I watched an influencer that I watched their guide on how to learn and play the game.
Gunlance, yeah.
I watched him get flattened, like failed the hunt. Another reporter that reports specifically on Capcom and Monster Hunter was like, we got timed out. We hit the 50-minute mark for a hunt, which I can't remember the last time I did.
Yeah, oh my god.
So
you and I, the last time I think you and I got timed out was during the demo.
Yeah. Well, this is a 15-minute timer.
Exactly.
Speaking, where the hell is our Sunbreak demo? I think we're gonna get one. Maybe announced at Summer Game Fest.
I don't think there will be a demo. You think
No?
there will be a demo? No.
See, I didn't think so, but then everybody in the community is like, where's the demo? There was a demo for World, there was a demo for Iceborne.
Interesting.
So, there was a demo for GU.
In order for there to be a demo, the demo would have to include the new hub in order for it to be functional.
Well, the original demo didn't include the hub. Remember, you just picked your hunts, and then it shoved you into the hunts. You never saw the hub.
That's true. Maybe.
I think we're getting a demo. I'm hoping we get a demo. Then the episode that we're supposed to do mechanics gameplay, the demo will come out the day before, and it'll have to be on the demo.
Yeah, have you looked at the show notes? The show notes literally says no news will be discussed today. I've edited them.
Not today. Spider-Man Remaster, August 12th on PC. Miles Morales to follow before the end of 2022. That is very close to when Splatoon 3 comes out.
So I have the Spider-Man games on my PS4, and I haven't played them.
Criminal! You're playing... Wait a second. You're playing Ass Creed Valhalla before you're playing Spider-Man?
I have a deep connection with Assassin's Creed games. I love the Assassin's Creed games. They have all of my monies.
If you had to get rid of one, would you get rid of Assassin's Creed or Halo?
Assassin's Creed.
I knew you were going to say that. I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, I had to think about it, though, because there's a lot of good memories in Assassin's Creed, but it'd be Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so tons. I debated on breaking out this section into more detail of what came out, but it's too much. Just, we're a month away. Go watch all the videos if you're a nerd like me.
If you really want to discuss all the new things that came out and that were released in those footages, go to our Discord and Presto will talk to you about them.
I will talk to you. I am your licensed Sunbreak waiting room therapist.
Thunderbreak?
I was trying to say Sunbreak therapist, and it came out as Thermith. Yeah. So, and that's the news. Now let's get into the rest of our... That's what would have happened.
Yep. We do have a side quest.
Do we? Yes!
We do have a side quest.
I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this.
The side quest, side question
is well
of
played.
The day,
very well played.
Of the day of graphics, mechanics, or story. Which one is most important to you?
Vote on your phones. All right, everybody. Corporal deserves input for this because this episode got railroaded hard by the news. So put in the chat right now, everybody in the chat. Do you play games for graphics, mechanics, or story?
I like how you said story last.
Because stories last. It's written last on the thing, and it's clearly last in what people get games for. You know it's gameplay for me.
Yeah, you can't handle anything that's not mechanic based.
Because if I want story and graphics, I'll go watch a movie.
Graphics sell a video game. Story is what keeps them and creates a fan. That's my opinion. Mechanics, depending on the type of game, can create replayability.
Okay, I'll admit, depending on the type of game. Oni Kontos, hey, what's up? Grabtacular said mechanics 100%. Story and graphics are secondary. Jeremy says mechanics first, story second, graphics third. That's
The two of you just got knocked off my friend list. Go.
So again, it depends on the game. See, for me, mechanics is always number one, and whether story is number 2 or 3 depends on the game.
I could care less about graphics. If it were me, the type of graphics is last on my list. In fact, mechanics would be second, but story comes first. And the only reason why I say graphics come last is because I could have something like Halo, Breath of the Wild, or a 16-bit indie game, and they all are impactful to me, as long as there's a good story.
Yeah. All above, a good story goes a long way. Graphics I love more because I have a 3080 Ti and mechanics are important. Very nice.
Yes, yeah.
But here's a question: do you count graphics as what? We should stop having this conversation because now I'm just.
There's an episode.
There's an episode here. Anyway.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So most of the chat feeling graphics. What are indie games? Are the return of pixel art games? That's true. Pixel art. I prefer pixel art to 3D in a lot of applications.
Yeah.
I prefer pixel art and then usually something more artsy and hand-drawn and then 3D in most cases.
Something like, you say artsy and hand-drawn, I immediately start thinking of the game called Firewatch. We've talked about Firewatch.
Well, Firewatch is artsy, but Firewatch isn't hand-drawn, right?
No, it's not hand-drawn. It's more animated, but it is artsy. But it's not high quality, high definition, superb graphics. It's more leaning on the pixel side than it is graphic side. But I think that is a great middle ground.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the most interesting balance of these 3 elements, and then I will shut up about it so we don't spoil a future episode, is Hades.
There's no episode.
This is the episode. Welcome to part 2 of episode 60. Hades. Hades, to me, is the perfect balance of all 3. The mechanics are super tight. Amazing. Graphics... See, this is where I will interchange graphic / art style. Right?
Okay.
Because, it feels weird to call the graphics in Cuphead graphics and not an art style. You know what I mean?
True. Yep.
So Hades, I think, perfectly balances gameplay, art style, and story. Because I would put them all on the same plane. Because I love the gameplay, but I really wouldn't have played it as much as I did if the art style and the story weren't there. That's one of the only games that all 3 are amazing, and all 3 are basically of equal importance to me.
Okay. There's so much more deeper edges to this conversation.
I know. It's like we have a whole outline.
Written somewhere in our minds.
Onikonos, I love my oldies and I love indies, so graphics is not so important. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it depends on what kind of gamer you are, because if you're an indie gamer, chances are graphics are not that important to you.
I mean, there are literally some graphics that are like paint drawn black and white.
Yeah.
Like lines. But anyway, that's our episode. The joke of the day, the dad joke was we didn't do our graphics, story, and mechanics episode.
That's not a joke, but it kind of is. Kind of fits.
The episode that we advertised, you did not get. It was a bait and switch. I'm telling you it's coming. I promise you, people.
It is. It's on the schedule. It's been on schedule for like 3 months. We keep on moving it down, but it's on there. It's written in ink.
It's an evergreen episode. We can do it anytime.
It is. It can just pop up. We might do it next week and say F it. Anyway, thanks for coming by, everybody. We will see you. Remember, not tomorrow night.
Not tomorrow.
Saturday night.
Friday. We're not streaming Friday. We're streaming Saturday. We're gonna do a co-stream, right? We're doing our co-stream
Saturday night. We're gonna hunt. We're gonna get you that hunting horn set.
Yes.
All the dutes. And then Sunday, Corporal is going to be hopefully not kicking his Switch down the stairs and kicking a ball on Mario Strikers if the live demo works.
I am probably just going to start the stream with me on the dock of my Switch trying to get into the demo so that we all can
trying to climb in it. Grabtacular said your homework is to make a spreadsheet listing top tier games and where they lie on those 3 components.
Ooh.
We're putting that in the notes. I like that.
That's actually pretty good. I'm copying your comment right now.
I like that. Well, that was the conversation earlier. People were saying, like, you could promise story and mechanics, and then when the mechanics totally break, you just have story, like Cyberpunk.
Yes, that is true. Critical Role is streaming right now.
What the heck?
Where is
yeah, this happens every time we do an episode. It's the new Legends of the Multiverse.
Yeah.
That I keep wanting to watch, but every time they stream it, we're doing an episode.
Your homework, here it is. I am copying the comment. Ooh.
Yes.
We are adding it.
You have contributed to the podcast, Graptacular. Thank you so much.
Phase 3. Scroll down. We're not going to get it until August. There we go. All right, I'm adding.
That's funny. All right, that's our show, everybody. We will see you on Saturday. Have a wonderful week. Go play all the games.
All of the games.
Bye, everybody.
Peace, everybody.